Hi everybody, welcome back for another video. This is day 4 of the daily December art challenge, and day 4 is going to be holly. There are a few ways to draw holly, and we're going to use some simple tools. We're going to use our date stamper, which we've got to move to December 4th. And we're actually going to stamp it right now and see what happens. There we are, for December 4th. And the tools that we're going to use, we're going to start again with our pencil and eraser. You can use any type of pencil, any eraser. Then I've got some fine liners. These are one of my favorite. They are by the brand Ohuhu, and it sounds just as funny as it looks. O-H-U-H-U. And I have them in a variety of sizes. I have them in 01, 03, and 005, just for some line differences. And then I have a couple of Tombow dual brush markers. I have some greens for the leaves, and then I've got these like reds for the berries, and these browns for the stem or twig of the branch. And we'll see what we want to use. I'm not quite sure. So what I will do is, let's first write holly up here. And I'm just kind of sticking with this fun sort of a silly H-O-L-L-Y, just a silly little fun font. There's a couple of different ways to draw holly. One, I will show you the way I like to draw it when I'm thinking of a more realistic holly. So the first thing that I do is I think of my stem, and we'll say that the stem is just kind of going this way. And I'm going to put a bundle. Let me make it a little bit bigger. I'm realizing I'm making all of these things super tiny. I mean, it makes sense. I'm in a passport insert. But so I'll make them a little bit larger. There. And then usually when we see holly, we see it in like a bundle of 3 leaves. And what I'm first going to do is just draw an oval around the stem, and that's going to be my guide. And I'm going to do another one over here, and that's going to be my guide, and then here for the third one, and I'm going to have that as my guide. Now the leaves are not normally round. When we think of holly, we think of those pointed with like, they almost come to like a needle. And so we're just going to go around the shape. We're going to do that again right here. Just going to kind of make those points. And then we'll do one more here. And turn your page. No one said your page has to stay vertical. I'm filming, so I needed to have it be in a good spot for me and for you to see. But you can definitely do that. And then sometimes in these little berries, there will be like little notches from where like the berry was formed. And then if you want to, you can do some fine lines. And then this is just our basic pencil sketch. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the medium one. So 005 is the smallest. 003 is the largest or thickest nib. 01 is the medium-sized nib. And I'm going to go over my lines that I have here. I'm going to start with the berries again. And then this is also a time when you're drawing these. If something you made too big or something you made too small, or like here you decide you want to add a couple of extra, maybe adding one right there, you can. Now, I'm going to go over. And again, it doesn't have to be perfectly over because we have an eraser. We are going to erase. And let's do this last leaf over here. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And I like these lines. It just kind of helps give the leaf a little bit of dimension. And we'll just double that to give it a stem. And now I'm going to go in with the 005 and just put in some lines here to just kind of help give it a little dimension. Now if you want to, now we make sure that that is dry. While that's drying, let's draw, when most people think of holly, they think of like a cluster of 3 berries. I'll do it down here. When you think of like a typical cartoon berry. And then usually there's 1, 2, 3 branches. And this is your like typical generic cartoon version of holly. And then you might have little notches for the berries. And then this one, since it's kind of more cartoony, we'll outline it in the largest one, the 03. And again, you can make it bigger or smaller. And here's the last one. That one, because it has a nice curve. And that's what we typically think of when we think of holly berries. So let's go up to this one and gently erase, hoping that it is dry. Sorry, the table's a little squeaky. There we go. Good, good, good. Now I have a variety of colors here. I have this 847 and 837. This is like a true red, and this one is more of like a has a little hint of brown, I would say, to it. And let's do a little bit of a sample. So this is the 837. See how it's a little bit more maroony, more burgundy, and here's the brighter red. I kind of like the burgundy colored one. And just to show you, See? Oh. They don't go through. This is really thick paper. I want to use this one. I'm going to put it down as a base. And I'm not filling them in completely. I'm just kind of... And then I'm going to take this brighter red and fill in those spots that didn't get covered. And so that way we've got a little bit of a blending of the two colors. Now we've got a variety of greens. Holly leaves tend to be a very vibrant green that almost has hints of blue in it. And I just want to show you a couple of my favorite greens. This is 098. And I know a couple of these come in the Christmas set. So that is 098. It's almost like an olive green. This one right here is 228, which is just a little bit deeper, like a sap green maybe. This one is 177, which is more like a true like deep grass green. And then this one right here is 249, which to me looks more like the color of holly, but it will look super, super dark on here. So I think what I want to do is I want to start with the lighter of them. And there's so many different ways you can use these. You could use these with an aqua brush. To use them like a watercolor. I just wanted to use a different art tool today. And see, this is the lighter of the greens. So just imagine how dark the others would look. We'll let that dry. And now for the twig, I'm thinking of taking this one right here, 977, and just giving it a nice, there. So it looks like we've cut off a little tip of the holly bush. Now, let's erase this down here. And I'm going to use colored pencils for this one. We're pulling out our handy dandy Derwent Chroma Flow that we've used this week because there's some really good colors in here for holly. Like this raisin and strawberry are a wonderful blend for the berries. So what I'm going to do is put down the strawberry first because it's kind of the lighter of the two colors. And then I'm going to use the raisin color just to kind of blend it and to give it just a little bit of depth, especially here. There we go. And the color that I'm going to use for the holly leaves is, if I can get it out, one of my favorite colors in here It is the one called Basil or Basil. It gives us, I think, for a colored pencil, a nice true holly. And if you want to, you can use your shading, since it is a pencil. Let's do this leaf over here. Just double checking to make sure I was in the frame. And we'll lighten up the edges. And then we've got one more leaf down here. And so there you go, a couple of different ways that you can color holly using some markers, making it look a little bit more realistic, or making it look a little bit more on the cartoony side. So I hope you enjoyed day 4, and I will see you back for day 5. Bye-bye.